All right, we're going to try this again. I really hope that I've got audio now. I don't know what was going on. I don't know why it stopped, and I don't know what's going on. So let me know if you are here and if you can hear me. Just give me a heads up. All right, Deb, can you hear me? Colleen, can you hear me? Judy, can you hear me? Betty, just give me a heads up if you can hear what I'm saying. Woohoo! I have no idea what happened. Sound was on and then sound went away. Who knows? Facebook is an interesting thing. I did not change anything. All I did was flip my phone. So there were no, it's very strange. I don't know. But let's see if we can get it to come up again on my iPad. Here we go. All right. I'm glad you can all hear me. Now I'm going to try and flip my phone again so that we can actually see my workstation, and we're going to get some stamping before the sound cuts out again. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. Flipperoo. All right. I am back. Let's hope I stay back. Gotta love Facebook and all the foibles. All right. Can you still hear me? Okay. I'm getting lots of loud and clears. Oh, don't worry about the angry faces. That's what got my attention. So that was good, Louise. I'm glad there were lots of angry faces, because that's how I knew that something was not the way it should be. All right, let me see if I can get this adjusted so that we are centered here, because you don't want to miss any of this. Okay. I think we're good. All right. So as I was saying, you probably missed my big announcement. Kind of took the thunder out of it. So I mentioned, I don't know if you heard, but my ordering host code is here for this catalog launch. If you order by Friday, you will receive, any order size will receive a sampler pack of the new Design a Daydream host exclusive designer paper. Okay, as soon as I find it, there it is. Okay, I don't actually have a pack of this yet. It's coming Thursday. Okay, so you're going to receive a free pack of that with any order placed using my host code by Friday. The other big perk, big incentive for ordering this week is I am giving away a full set of the new in color ink pads. So it includes one of each color, and anyone who places an order using this host code this week will be entered into a draw to win this full set of ink pads. How's that for a deal? All right, so have your catalogs handy, start your wish list, and away we go. Okay. The other thing that I'm doing tonight is another giveaway. So this is just for people who are joining me live. So if you are joining me live, if you're hearing me now, and you stuck around after the big no sound fiasco, your reward is, by commenting on this video, you will be entered into a draw for a full pack of, a variety pack of the new in color cardstock and a pack of the new Tea Boutique Designer Series paper. Okay, so that is my giveaway for tonight. So all you have to do to enter is comment and let me know that you're here. Okay? All right, Margaret, you're here. Welcome. I'm so glad you found me. I was having some technical difficulties earlier. I had sound and then the sound went away, so I had to stop and start again. So we are all good. I'm so glad that everybody is here and found me again. All right, we are going to talk in colors to start. So the new in colors are so fabulous. I gotta tell you, I am in love with these colors. So we have a ton of in color products this time. So I'm going to show you some of it. I don't have all of it because some of it I've already used most of it up. But I am going to show you what I've got as soon as I find, there it is. Okay, so let's talk about the new in colors, starting with our fabulous new red, Sweet Sorbet. Okay, so this is Sweet Sorbet. Now, a lot of people look at it and go, oh, it looks an awful lot like Poppy Parade. Well, here is Poppy Parade. So not so much. This looks much more pink next to Poppy Parade. I'm hoping the color is fairly true here. Okay, and then we have Real Red, very different shade again. And then we have Cherry Cobbler. So there are your reds. Sweet Sorbet is on the bottom. Poppy Parade, Real Red, and Cherry Cobbler. So a real contrast in reds, and the Sweet Sorbet is a great addition. We only have had 3 reds before this, so having that addition is awesome. So that's Sweet Sorbet. Then we have my very favorite party color. and that is the Parakeet Party. I mean, could it be any more aptly named, right? It's such a bright, fun party green. And again, when I first saw it, I actually thought it reminded me of Granny Apple Green. So of course I had to compare, and look at the difference. Granny Apple Green looks so dark next to Parakeet Parade. Such a big difference. Okay. And then we have, this is Pear Pizzazz. Again, very much darker and more muddy. And then we have Old Olive. Okay. So there are some color comparisons. Parakeet Party on the bottom, Granny Apple Green, Pear Pizzazz, and Old Olive. Okay. So there is a color comparison for you of the new green. And then we have Tahitian Tide. Now, I don't keep old retired colors, so a lot of people think that this is very similar to Tempting Turquoise. It is a little bit darker, okay? So it's not Tempting Turquoise. It's a different shade, but I don't have one to show you, okay? However, I do have some Coastal, nope, where's Coastal Cabana? There's Coastal Cabana. And some Bermuda Bay. And there's a little bit of Balmy Blue. And some Pacific Point. So again, very different shade from anything else in our color lineup. That's Tahitian Tide. And then we have the fantastic Orchid Oasis. Now I'm going to apologize right now if I call this Orchid Opulence several times tonight. Orchid Opulence is an old color. Some of you may remember it. And as soon as I think Orchid, I think Opulence. It was one of my favorite colors when I first started stamping. And of course it went away. This is Orchid Oasis. Okay. Very different shade from Orchid Opulence actually. But a beautiful sort of lilac-y, almost periwinkle color. There is Highland Heather, just to compare, so much more blue, and there's Gorgeous Grape. So this is a shade that we really didn't have anything even remotely similar. So that is your Orchid Oasis. Yes, Deb, Orchid Opulence, yeah. And then here is Starry Sky. Now this, again, people immediately think it looks navy. Well, here is Night of Navy. What a difference. So this is a beautiful royal, like purpley blue, and there's Night of Navy just to compare, okay? So there are our new ink colors. Now we also have, sorry I'm moving stuff around here, a fabulous new pack of 6x6 Designer Series paper. So new patterns, all in the new ink colors. Okay. And we have gorgeous ombre glimmer paper. Now I only have little bitty, these come in 6x6 pieces. I only have little 3-inch strips right now because that's all I got left. Okay, so, and then we have a fabulous new metallic ribbon that coordinates as well. So we've got our Parakeet Party, there is our Starry Sky, our Orchid Oasis, I almost said Opulence, Tahitian Tide, and our Sweet Sorbet. So these are really fun metallic ribbons. You're going to see it in action a little bit later. They're very lightweight. And the cool thing about this ribbon is it's kind of like a mesh. So you can actually pull it apart to get something a little bit wider ribbon. This is 1/8 of an inch wide, but you can play around with the width by pulling it. If you don't like it, you just pull it back. Cool, huh? And then we have in color Baker's Twine. So this comes in a pack of 5 rolls. 1 roll in each shade. I don't have a lot left. This is all I got. And then we have some awesome embellishments that I have like almost nothing left. You're going to see them in action on the project I'm going to show you in a sec. So those are in color products. Now let me just stop for a second and talk about our awesome joining promotion this month. It just started today. The new demonstrators who join in the month of May receive free a full pack of in color cardstock, a full pack of in color Designer Series paper, and the full set of in color ink pads, all of these, and in color grid paper. Now I don't have the grid paper yet because we were just able to order it today, so it's coming. You'll see it in my videos next week. But that is an awesome joining offer. It's actually $91 worth of free product on top of the $165 worth of product that you get in the starter kit. So if you are thinking that it may be time, because your wish list is so long, to get a discount on your product, you need to talk to me and we will get you set up. All right, let me show you some awesome projects that I made to showcase the in colors. So here we go. Here is Parakeet Party. I posted these earlier today. Sweet Sorbet, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, and Orchid Oasis. Now, I've used several products on this. You're going to see this paper in action in a little bit, but it is actually from the Tea Boutique pack that I'm giving away. And then I also used some of the new perfectly penciled for my background pieces and then colored with the Stampin' Blends. There's a new stamp set and die set called Sending Smiles. You're going to see that one in action in a little bit as well. But I love to make the same card in each of the different colors every time they come out, because it really allows you to showcase and really see how the colors play off of each other. So that is some gorgeous new in color cards. So we're going to make this fun project using, of course, our new ink colors. So I got to grab my inks. Here they are. And I just want to show you the stamp set that I'm using. So the stamp set is actually this one. So it's on page 33 of the new catalog. It's called Framed Occasions. And this actually coordinates with a set of dies that are in the mini catalog called Beautiful Shapes. So this is a great set to extend the versatility of those dies and get a whole lot more mileage out of them. So that's one that you'll want to check out. It's also a great price. It's only $25 here in Canada, which is a really good price. So let's make this card. I'm going to get rid of my little flag here so I know that I've done that one. Take a sip of water and away we go. All right, so I have several different stamps from the Framed Occasion stamp set. Oh, there's the stamp set. I knew I had it somewhere. It was hiding. There it is, right there. Okay, so we're using both leaves. Yep, both leaves. This flower, this little sprig, and this little sprig. Okay, so we're going to do some tone-on-tone stamping. So I'm going to start with my Tahitian Tide just because it's on top. And for this one, I'm using the solid leaf shape. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp. And I'm just going to stamp along the strip. Now these strips are cut to 4 by 1 inch. So it's a great way to showcase if you've got 5 different strips, each cut to 1 inch. It fills up your card front perfectly. So there's my Tahitian Tide. Next up, we've got Starry Sky. So for Starry Sky, I'm going to use this little sprig. And once again, we're just going to kind of work our way across. When you're doing this, you really want to kind of make it as random as possible. So rotate your paper, rotate your stamp. You want them to kind of go any which way. And again, I will put all of the measurements for all the projects. We're going to do 6 tonight, so I hope you're in for the long haul. We're going to do 6 projects, but I will put all the measurements up later on this evening. Okay? Next up is Orchid Oasis. I thought it was a great graduation card, but I also thought it was very suitable for a new catalog. Right? To a happy future ahead. We have a whole 12 months with this brand new catalog to enjoy. And I'm so excited. I just love playing with new products. I have a whole big, actually 2 big orders coming on Thursday. So lots to play with there. All right, next up we have Sweet Sorbet. And for this one, we're going to use our little blossom. Hey, Shelly, how are you? Margaret, we will chat. This is a great time for you to sign up. I will send you a message later on, probably tomorrow, because by the time I'm done here, I probably will be pretty much done for the night. But I will reach out to you tomorrow and we will chat about the awesome perks of being a demonstrator. All right, so there are my flowers. Last one, we're going to stamp this open leaf. So we are going, oh, you're signing up. Woohoo! Yay, Shelly. Awesome deal tonight. Get all of your in-color ink pads and your paper and your DSP free in your kit. Doesn't get much better than that. I'll add one little leaf there. All right, we are good. So that takes care of our images. I'm just going to set these aside. Oh my gosh, you guys, this place is going to be such a disaster by the time I'm done. Everything was so nicely organized this afternoon before I started, and we're going to be in a bit of a mess. But that's okay. Messes are fun. Messes mean we had lots of fun. All right, so we're gonna stamp this sentiment. I have already stamped the outline. Let me just show you. I've stamped this hexagon outline already. They're two separate stamps. It looks like it's one stamp image on the stamp case, but they're two separate stamps, okay? So I already stamped my hexagon and die cut it out using my beautiful shape dies. And now I'm gonna go ahead and stamp to a happy future ahead, just in some black ink. And then that is going to get popped up on another hexagon. And look, I can use my black dimensionals because it's black. I don't know. I don't really understand why we have black dimensionals. I know I've said this before. It really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But since we're using black cardstock, we'll use black dimensionals. May as well use them up, right? So we're going to center that on there. And then we're going to do some fancy gluing. So I have here a basic black card base. It's 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored in the middle at 5 1/2. So we'll fold that in half along our score line. I love the hexagon too, Jeanette. Beautiful mess for sure, Claire. Wait till you see this grid paper by the time I'm done. I can't take it off because I got my hose coat here. So we're going to be good and inky by the time we're finished. So I'm going to lay out all my strips here. And this is just kind of to get an idea of spacing, okay? So they're going to go on here like this. I'm actually going to glue the top one and the bottom one on. And then I'm going to get really careful about my spacing. So I like to use liquid glue whenever I'm doing anything that's, you know, requires me to be precise. This gives me just that little bit of wiggle time so that I can get it just so. And then we're going to do our starry sky on the bottom. Get these guys out of the way for a sec. We'll add this guy on the bottom. Again, hopefully straight. All right, and then for this, I like to work with it sideways because I just find it easier for some reason to get spacing right. So we are going to lay these out. We want them to be spaced fairly equidistantly. That looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to do my Orchid Opulence next. Little swirl of liquid glue. And we'll slide that one in there. And again, we want to try and get this as straight as we can. And then we're going to do our Parakeet Party. We'll tuck that one in there. Again, whoop, let's not glue the Tahitian Tide one by mistake. And then we'll add this guy in the middle. All right, pop this guy on. There we go. Oh, that guy wiggled just a bit. There we go. All right. Isn't that fun? Love these colors together. And then this is just going to get popped on with a couple more dimensionals. And why not? We'll use black. And get rid of our backings. And we'll pop this guy on right about there. Okay, now the last little touch is some of these fabulous new in color matte dots. So I have very few left because I've used way too many already. And they actually come in 2 sizes, but I don't have any of the smaller size because I've used them all for an event that I'm running in a couple of weeks. So we were only allowed to order as part of the pre-order 2 packs, and I have used pretty much all of it. So we have the Starry Sky, we have the Orchid, we have the Tahitian Tide. Now these are kind of ombre, okay, so you can see that they start dark and get lighter as you kind of go down. They're kind of cool. I really like them actually, as would be evidenced by the fact that I have used them all. But there we go. There is, let's add this guy over here. Okay, and I just love the way that they just blend into the cardstock and everything coordinates so well. That's the beauty of Stampin' Up, right? Everything matches. It's DIY DSP. It certainly is, Claire. It certainly would be faster if I use DSP, but then I can't showcase that awesome stamp set. So, hey, we're going to stamp whenever possible. All right, let me clean up my mess before we go on to our next project because Lord knows it's going to get ugly in here. Let's just move some of this stuff out of the way. All right, I'm just kind of shoving everything this way. Everything just kind of keeps moving on down the line. We'll see what happens. Okay, so that is that one done. Next up, what's on my list? All right, tea boutique. Let's talk tea. Now, hold on one sec. I gotta turn off the heat. I have my space heater going in here because it was freezing when I came down here, and now I'm dying of heat because I'm talking too much. All right, so we are gonna talk tea boutique and sending smiles. So the tea boutique suite, let me just show you in the catalog. It is right here. It's the very first product suite that you see when you open the catalog. It is all about, well, tea. And honestly, I am not a tea drinker. I only drink tea when I'm sick. And so, therefore, I don't really like to make projects about tea because it reminds me of being sick. So, I didn't purchase this bundle, but I absolutely did purchase the Tea Boutique DSP and the coordinating cards and envelopes. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm giving away a pack of this DSP tonight. You're going to see it in action. It is fantastic DSP, like fantastic. And these cards and envelopes make designing so fast and easy. So, we are going to be using both of these tonight, but I did want to highlight this. I'm going to show you the DSP and the cards and envelopes for a quick sec. So let me pull this stuff in here. So first of all, our cards and envelopes, you get 5 of each, and they're all in the new ink color. So if you are wanting new ink color product, this is a great way to get it really quickly. So all of these cards come pre-printed with pretty, subdued patterns. This one's a little bit bolder, but in each one of the ink colors, so there's our Orchid Opulence, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Sweet Sorbet, and Starry Sky. The insides are all white, so you don't have to worry about adding an extra layer to write on. Okay, so those are our cards. And then, of course, we have fabulous coordinating envelopes. Okay, and they're all printed. They're just so pretty. Now, like, I would almost want to use this on a card. They're so nice. So those are the cards and envelopes that are part of the Tea Boutique suite. I think they're like $13, $14-ish, which is great for 20 cards and envelopes all ready to go. And then the Tea Boutique DSP. So I'm going to show you the tea themed side first. So as is typical with Stampin' Up! DSP, we have one side that's kind of follows a theme or coordinates with the suite that it's part of. But then the other side are more neutral patterns that work for anything. And it's the really neutral patterns that I am really excited about. Okay, so here are the tea themed sheets first. So lots of teapots and teacups, cute little envelope with flowers. Perfect for stampers. Some tea, I'm sure, I don't have the dies, but I'm betting there are dies in the die set that will coordinate with these. I don't know that for sure, so don't quote me on it. Maybe somebody who has those dies can comment. Love this paper. We're going to use that on a make and take in a sec. And lots of fun, look at the lemons, fun tea themed patterns. But when you flip them over, look at these awesome patterns on the back. I absolutely love these, which is why I purchased like 2 packs of this DSP when pre-order started, because it's just fantastic. So we've got all of our in colors plus some fresh freesia, some petal pink. We've got some crushed curry, but awesome patterns to use for just about any theme. So that's the Tea Boutique Designer Series paper. Now I have some projects. These are swap cards that I received that are made with this suite. So I just got these swaps today. They came just in the nick of time for tonight. So this one was made by a French demonstrator. Really cute. There she's cut the tea up from DSP. Here's another cute one. Here's another one, another French demonstrator. So sweet. Love this one. I love the red and the yellow together and the fun border. So pretty. I love this little tag too. And there's another cute one. And one more really showcases the DSP in this one. So lots of ideas with the Tea Boutique bundle and coordinating designer series paper. Now, we are going to be making a project that uses the DSP, but uses a different bundle. So the bundle that we're going to focus on is this one, this Sending Smiles bundle. Now, it is actually on the next page. So if I bring back my catalog and I flip over to page 14, it's right here. there is our Sending Smiles bundle. It's priced at $67.50 here in Canada. Really great price. And has so many possibilities, like so many sentiments. All of these images fit with the dies and can be mixed and matched. So many possibilities with that. So let me show you a couple of projects and then we're going to make one. So here's one I did. I was kind of on an Orchid Opulence kick. Not Orchid Orchid Oasis. Orchid Oasis, not Orchid Opulence. Orchid Oasis. It's a fantastic color, and I've used Mango Melody with the Parakeet Party on this one. And again, this is one of the fantastic card bases. So super quick and easy to make a project. Here's one I did a little while back. Again, more Orchid Oasis and some fresh freesia on this one. Here's another one. This is another swap that I received. And one more, totally different color scheme. Love the ombre effect on the die cut there. So pretty. All right, so we were gonna make a card using this suite, or this bundle rather. So let me get this stuff out of the way. So we are going to make this card, again, using some of that gorgeous Tea Boutique Designer Series paper and our Sending Smiles bundle. So let me just pull out all my bits and pieces here. And my inks. I need my Orchid. Where'd you go, Orchid? That's what happens when you need the same color for multiple products. You end up in a mess. Okay. So to start, pull out all my bits here. So I'm starting with a piece of the Tea Boutique DSP. This is that beautiful floral. It's 4 by 5¼ inches. And then I have another piece. It's got the teapots on the back. This piece is cut to 1 3/4 by 4. Okay, so we're going to start by gluing this on about 3/4 inch up from the bottom edge. So let's get that on there. The rickrack die is it's from the Basic Borders die flow, and she's just die cut it twice to create the rickrack effect. So check out the Basic Borders dies. There is a sort of a zigzag, stitch zigzag there, and when you cut two, you end up with a rickrack look. All right, so there is our beautiful DSP. We're going to go ahead actually and glue this onto our card base. So I've got a fresh freesia cardstock base here. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. So we are going to fold that in half along our score line. Oh, it's in your top 5, is it, Peggy? It is such a great versatile bundle and reasonably priced as bundles go. So let's get a little glue going on here. We're going to layer our DSP onto our card base here. Get that stuck down. Okay, and then I have here this cute little scalloped rectangle. It's cut using the Scallop Contours dies. These were in last year's catalog. They had carried over. So thank goodness, because we lost so many layering dies in this retirement go round. So I'm happy that these ones stuck around. So I'm going to stamp my stem here in Garden Green ink. So this stem actually has leaves and 2 stems, so I can add my 2 flowers. This is going to look super dark. It's not black, it's Garden Green. I just re-inked this ink pad, so it's very, very juicy right now. And then I'm going to bring in my fresh freesia and my first floral, or first blossom, I guess. We're going to add that on the tall stem. And then I'm going to add sort of my half blossom on the shorter stem there. Okay, and then we're going to add the magic with a little Orchid Oasis. See, I said it right that time. Stampin' Up! Just likes to mess with me by naming products similar to past products. They just mess with me. That's what it is. So we're going to add, come on, our 2 centers of our flowers. Okay, and then that is going to get glued onto our card front. Just about center. So we're going to add a little bit of seal, get that stuck down. Pop that on. Right about there looks good. Okay. And then I have a little die cut circle. Now I got to talk about these dies. These dies are the Stylish Shapes dies. These are not part of any suite, but they are easy to miss, which is why I'm taking the time to point these out. I didn't actually mark these. I'm going to show you where they are though. They're on page 175. Okay. Stylish Shapes. There are a whole whack of layering circles, squares, and banners, and they all have this fabulous stitch detail on them. So if you are missing or were mourning the loss of stitch shapes a couple of years ago, this is a really good alternate substitute. Now I stamped my flowers a little low on this, but that's okay. We can make it work. We're going to add a couple of dimensionals to the back of our die cut circle here. And we'll pop that on to our card here. Right about there. We're going to cover a little bit more of our flowers than I would like, but that's all right. We're going to put our sending die right there. So the sending dies, let me just pull them out again so I can explain how they work. So we have the solid one, okay, and then we have the detailed one that layers on top. So I've used the Orchid Oasis for the solid, and then some fresh freesia for the detailed one. Now I've left this in the negative because the little dot on the eye is really easy to lose. So I thought if I just leave it in the negative, there's less chance that I'm going to lose it between when I prepped all of this and now. So we're going to hope that we don't lose it. So we have our die cut. Now I have added some adhesive sheets to the back of this. You could certainly use liquid glue to glue this on. You'd have to take your time and use little bitty dots of glue, but it is certainly doable. But the adhesive sheets are quick and easy. And, well, I love them. If you've watched my videos for any length of time, you have seen me use them on many, 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 many die cuts. So we're going to go ahead and layer this. So I'm just going to take my time, but look at how fantastic the fresh freesia is on top of the Orchid Oasis. Like, these two colors were made for each other. I absolutely love them together. You're going to see this combo more tonight. Because I can't seem to get enough of it right now. All right, so there is our layered die cut, and then I'm going to take my take your pick and pick up my little dot for my eye and just plunk that down to make sure it gets stuck so I don't lose it. Okay, so there is my sending, and then this cute little label die is actually part of the die set as well, and we are going to stamp birthday wishes again in the Orchid Oasis. So I'm going to have to move this a little closer to me so I can have a hope of getting it straight. Oh, that was actually pretty good. Yeah, it is awesome, Nicole. I can't even tell you how much I love this combo. All right, so we're going to stick sending down first, and then we're going to add our birthday wishes. Now, this is already popped up, right? So we're going to put some liquid glue on the ding, and we're going to put some dimensionals under send. Okay, so that it lies nice and flat. The nice thing about this die cut is that it fits the mini dimensionals quite nicely. So you don't really need to worry about, you know, cutting things. I suppose you could use the foam adhesive sheets, but that doesn't work so well when you want to have part of it lying, overlapping another popped piece. So this is a good solution. So we're going to add a little liquid glue to ding, and we're going to get rid of our backings, and then we're going to go ahead and pop this on right about there. Okay, and then we're going to take our birthday wishes, we're going to tuck it in under the G, and it's going to overlap send a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to add a little liquid glue there. I'm going to put a mini dimensional right here. Yeah, you can use a dot to replace a dim. I have had to do that on more than one occasion, Louise. Yeah, because I lose those little bitty bits all the time. So yep, a gem is a great solution if you are one who loses things like I do. So we're just going to make sure that's on fairly straight. Okay, and then our last touch, we're going to add, where's my Orchid Opulence ribbon? It's in the pile of ink color stuff that I shoved over to the side. So this is some of that gorgeous Orchid Opulence metallic ribbon. So we're going to tie a little bow. Now this is 1/8 of an inch wide, so it's fairly narrow ribbon. But the really, really cool thing about this is you can tease the ribbon out and actually make it look wider than it is, which is kind of cool. So let's just trim this off the roll for a sec. And then we're going to add this just with the glue dot to the bottom corner of our label. So let's grab a glue dot. Come on, there we go. And we're going to just tuck that in, and I'm going to just, that glue dot is actually quite large, so we're just going to roll that up a little bit. And then what you can do is actually just kind of take and pull the ribbon apart a little bit. It distresses it a little bit, and it makes it look wider, and it just takes up a little bit more space visually on your card. Okay. The last little touch on this one is some of these fabulous new In Color opals. So these are from last year's In Colors. So that's the Soft Succulent Evening Evergreen Fresh Freesia edition of the In Colors. And they're these gorgeous opals. So I'm going to use, what did I use? I think I used Fresh Freesia. So I'm going to add just a couple of these little guys on here. So pretty and so sparkly. I'll just add one down here and call it a day. All right, so there we go. Put these away or I'm going to lose them. There we go. Okay, there is our finished card. Isn't that cute? So pretty, and honestly, this stamp set is just fabulous, and the dies too. So put that on your wish list if you haven't already. We're gonna get this out of the way and make some space, and we're moving on. Okay, 2 down, 4 to go. All right, next on my list is Bottled Happiness. So Bottled Happiness, this is again, next page over from Sending Smiles. It's page 16. Now, this is a bundle that I was like, I don't know if I need that one. Maybe I do, maybe I don't, but I really, really needed the bottle punch because it is pretty cool and there are some really cool things you can do with it. But then I thought, well, why get the punch without getting the stamps, right? And honestly, the stamps are fabulous. So let me show you a couple projects and the bundle itself. So let me grab that. Here we go. So here's our bundle. We have the stamp set. So this is 2-step stamping. So you're going to stamp, when you're doing this, you want to stamp your leaves first, then add your flowers. And here's a hot tip. These little guys are actually the centers of these flowers. Took me a little while to figure that out. Okay, so I had to, the best way to line these up is with your Stamparatus. Now it can be done without. I did it without this afternoon. But if you are not great at lining stuff up, then definitely want to use a Stamparatus for this one. Okay, and I mean, who doesn't like a stamp set with the sentiment that says why not? Like really? So I had to have it. And then here, of course, is our coordinating bottle punch. It's quite a large size punch. It's about 2 1/4, 2.5 inches tall. And I will show you what cool things we can do with this. So this is a project I did in a Live at 5 a couple of weeks ago using the tulip bundle, flowering tulip bundle. But I brought it up because I wanted to showcase the shaker domes and these awesome effervescent elements. I'm going to open this up and you will see they look like bubbles. It seriously looks like a little package of bubbles. They're iridescent. They're multi-size. They're just so much fun. It's really satisfying to just sit and run your finger. Like, talk about sensory bins. We just need a big sensory bin full of these. So cool. So they make awesome shaker filling for the shaker domes. I didn't bring the shaker domes over. I actually took them out, but I don't know what I did with them. They're not here, but you get the idea. All right, so those are the shaker domes that coordinate with the punch. Okay, and then here are just a couple of projects. I haven't had a ton of time to play with this one yet being the operative word. Here's a cute little swap card that I received featuring a bunch of the new In Colors. Sending Cheer, such a fun fun card. And then here's one that I did this afternoon. Where I lined up all by myself without the Stamparatus, the leaves and flower centers and the flowers. So it can be done if you don't have a Stamparatus. And then I love this color combo. This is Sweet Sorbet, Soft Succulent, and Evening Evergreen. Such a great combo. So there's a couple of ideas with that cute bundle. Now we are moving on. What's next? Sweet Songbirds. Oh my goodness. I love, 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 love this one. Okay, sorry, I have to get up and reach all this stuff. It's over on the counter beside me. All right. They're heavy. I don't find them super heavy, Julie. The whole package is heavy, but when you use just a few in a shaker card, I don't find them that heavy. All right, Sweet Songbird. Let me show you the adorable layout in the catalog. So here it is. It's on page 31. So cute. I love this card. I can't wait to get these dies to play and make this card. It's just so adorable. But the bundle, again, super great price. $46.75 for the bundle. So it includes the stamps and the punch. Like, talk about a great deal. Okay, so this is a bundle that, again, it's one that you're going to want to put on your wish list, especially once I show you some cute projects. So here we go. Here's our stamp set. We've got two little birdies. We've got a branch and a nest for them to sit on. This is like a little wooden sign. I'll show you a couple projects where I've used that. And then some cute little sentiments. Many of these will fit on the little sign, which is really cute. This is actually the string or the rope to hang the sign. Okay, a couple people have asked me what that is. That's supposed to be the string. Again, I'll show you on a project in a minute. But super cute. We've got facial expressions and we've got feet for our birds. Just such a cute stamp set. And then of course our coordinating punch. I'll turn it over so you can see it a little bit better this way. All right, so let me show you some projects. So here's a cute one that I did. Sleepy bird. There's your little wooden sign hanging from the tree. Super cute. Here's another one using some more of that Tea Boutique DSP. Love, love, love this. Oh, you guys like this one. Yeah, the package is quite heavy, Julie. I will agree. Yeah, the package of them, but you don't need very many, and they're actually quite light. They roll like crazy. If you spill them, it's a disaster. Don't spill them. Let me just say that. Don't spill them. So here's another one that I did using, again, that's adorable Tea Boutique DSP. Here's another cute one. Sleepy bird, little birdie told me you've got something to celebrate. I thought that would be a really cute card for a mom to be. Little bird sitting on her nest. And then I had to make a slim line that used all 5 of the new in colors. So welcoming the new in colors. And I just love these. And I love the music notes. That's the musician in me. So cute. So there are some cute projects. We're going to make one. So let me get these out of the way. And we are going to make a cute little colorful project. Okay, so here we go. Here is Parakeet Party with Polished Pink. Oh my goodness, what an awesome color combo. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of this one from me as well. Really, really love this pairing. So to start, I have just a 3x4 inch piece of white cardstock. And we're going to stamp our branches, I should say, first. So I'm using crumb cake ink to stamp my branch. So we are going to ink this up. Yeah, thanks, Penny. I love that slimline too. The colors just make me happy. And those little birds make me happy. So we're going to do one branch kind of going this way because our bird is going to be walking along the branch. And then we're going to do another one kind of coming down the other way. And then I'm actually going to add another little one kind of down here, just because I kind of wanted it to look a little bit more like a tree or a forest. We're going to just add a few extra branches on this one. All right, so there is our branch. Now I'm going to bring in, I'm actually using Granny Apple Green for my leaves. I wanted them to stand out just a little bit from the green of the bird. I didn't want them to be the same color. So Granny Apple Green is just a little bit darker and works perfectly with the parakeet. So we're going to stamp our leaves. Now these leaves, it does take a little bit of lining up, but it's not hard. And photopolymer is your friend, right? So you can see through these and get them exactly where you want them. So we're going to add, I'm actually just going to add these little guys kind of coming this way. And then we'll add these kind of going, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stamp these guys this way. And then I'm switching it up. I'm changing my leaves because I can. It's my tree. There we go. All right, so there are our branches. Now we're going to add some cute little flowers using Polished Pink. So somewhere here, I have this adorable little flower stamp. Again, this is part of the set. So we're just going to add a few little blossoms. It is actually our neighbor's cherry tree is blossoming right now. I was quite surprised. None of our trees are, we have an apple tree in our backyard, but it is nowhere near ready to blossom. But it sure is nice to see the world waking up. We've had such a cold, miserable spring. It sure is nice to see some color. All right, there is our cute, cute little tree. Now we are going to stamp some legs for our bird. So let me pull out my little walking bird legs, and I'm going to use some crushed curry ink to stamp this. Hi Pam, how are you? Thanks for joining me tonight. There we go. There's my legs. I can't talk and stamp at the same time, which is why I had to pause. Bad things happen when I try to talk and stamp. All right, so now we're going to put together our cute little birdie. So I've already gone ahead and punched out all my bird pieces. And I've actually sponged the edges as well. So one of the things I'd like to do whenever I am using punched images is sponge the edges just a little bit to give them a little bit of a highlight and definition. Okay, so I've sponged, these are in Parakeet Party, and I've sponged it with the same ink. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little bit of glue to this belly piece, and we're going to stick it on just like that. And then we're going to add just a little, oh, what did I do with my beak? I did have a beak here. Where are you, beak? There you are. So my little beak is also punched out of crushed curry cardstock. So we're going to add just our little bitty beak, just with a dab of liquid glue. And then I'm going to bring in my black ink pad and the eyes. And we're going to stamp some eyes. And there he is. So cute. Isn't it amazing? As soon as you add eyes, it just comes to life. And then our wings, we are going to add 2 wings. One at the front. So we have an excited bird. He's flapping his wings. He's got lots to say. And this guy we're going to add actually with a glue dot, because it's going to go on the back side. So we'll just get a glue dot going there. And we'll add this little guy right here. Okay, and then we're going to pop him up, and he's going to be walking down our branch like this. So fun. Love, love this bundle. These little birds just make me happy. I could sit and play with these guys all day. All right, so let's add this guy walking down our branch just like that. Okay, and then of course he's singing a welcome song. No, he's singing about our special day. Sorry, it's not a welcome card. It's a special day card. So again, we're going to bring back our black ink and stamp a couple of little music notes. I love the fact that these notes are written correctly. It makes my music teacher heart happy to see music notes written the right way. I wish my students would write them the right way, but hey, at least Stampin' Up's got it right. All right, so we're going to layer our cute little stamped scene here on a piece of polished pink cardstock. And this is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. So it's 1/8 of an inch larger than our stamped panel. So we're going to add just a little bit of glue here. And pop this on. Deb, I love, you can make so many characters with this. Like there's so many different expressions you can get out of these birds when you play around with the placement. It's so much fun. All right, so we're going to set him aside for a minute, and I'm going to bring in a piece of Parakeet Party. It is 4 by 5 1/4 inches, and I'm actually going to use the Granny Apple Green ink again, and we're going to stamp some leaves just kind of around the outside to add a little bit of texture to our background. So I'm just coming in, not paying a whole, let's see if we can get the better image there. Yay, photopolymer. We can double stamp and it's not a disaster. We'll just take our time. This is what happens when I try to talk and stamp. Bad things happen, people. So I'll just stop and concentrate and then talk. We'll do one more over here. There we go. There are our leaves. So fun. And then we're going to go ahead and glue our little bird in the center of our stamped panel here. So we'll get a little bit of liquid glue going here. Oh, Peggy, it is so cute. I just adore this set. Really, it is, it's so fun. I'll be featuring it in a video coming up. Don't you worry. You'll get more ideas. I'll win you over. All right, so we are going to glue this onto a polished pink card base. This is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored in the middle at 5 1/2. So let's fold this in half along our score line and add a little bit of adhesive here. And we'll pop this guy on. I just love how the pink card base makes the whole card pop. So much fun. All right, so we need to add our sentiment. So here is yet another die cut from those fabulous Stylish Shape dies. This is a cute little banner. This is probably my most used die so far in that die set, that and the circles. But this banner is just the right length for so many sentiments that I've used it a ton. Sorry, my voice is getting a little croaky here. Let me take a sip of water. Yes, Shannon, I did. Actually, let me show you on the sample that I did. Let me find it. Yeah, so see here, these are mirror image. So it's the same punch. Okay, I just flipped them over. And so you can have birds facing both directions. Yeah. So fun. So cute. All right, so there is my special day sentiment. I'm going to bring in a little bit of my Parakeet Baker's twine. And I'm going to add a glue dot to the back of my strip here. Woohoo! Welcome back, Shelly. You work fast, my girl. That's awesome. I'm so happy that you're back. Yippee! All right, so we are going to just stick this down and get that all good to go. Okay, so that is going to go on just across here with a couple of dimensionals. So we're going to add those, and then we're going to add a cute little flower. Actually, you know what? I think I need one more in the middle because these little flowers are a little bit weighty. So we'll stick this guy on. Oh, thanks, Mavis. I'm glad you like it. So cute. Cute, 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 cute. All right. So now these are our, what are they called? Something embellishments, flourishes, floral, flower. Where are they? Here they are. Loose flower flourishes. Don't say that 10 times fast. These are actually in last year's catalog. They carried over. And they work really well with the little flower in the stamp set. So we're going to add a little flower to our banner right on the center of our twine. And then we're going to take and tie a bow and glue dot it to the center of our flower. It's going to look like a button. So we'll have a little faux flower button on our card here. Let's get our loops sorted out. My baker's twine is not cooperating tonight. There we go. It's wanting to twist. Let's see if we can get it to cooperate. There we go. Just have to pull the knot super tight. If you have that problem and your loops keep twisting on your baker's twine, just pull your knot super tight and that should get it to behave. All right, so I'm going to take a little glue dot here. I'm going to roll it into just a little glue booger and squish it into the center of my flower there. And then I'm going to take my knot of my bow and I'm actually going to make this teensy bit smaller because I'm covering up my sentiment, which I don't like to do. Actually, we'll angle it a bit. There we go. There we go. Cute, cute, cute. You like? Now on the inside, I had to add another little bird because I just love them so much. So there is a sweet little Sweet Songbirds project for you. All right, let's clean up this mess. Actually, put the stamps in there first, because there are a lot of them. There we go. Whew, we are rolling along. What are we on? Okay, we're on number 5. Moving along. Next up is He's the Man. Now, I don't know about you, but I have had so many people tell me that they struggle with making masculine cards. And, I mean, we all like pretty, right? We like birds and cute and flowers and, you know, pretty things. And man cards are hard because they're not pretty and flowery and lovely colors. But this sweet is fabulous. So fabulous, in fact, that I just announced a new class with this. So I'm doing a stamp camp, 6 cards made with products from this suite, both virtual and in person. Okay, it's happening the first week of June. The details are on my website, so you'll want to check it out. Also in my newsletter that went out today. Okay, so this He's the Man suite is, it's got fantastic DSP. I'm going to show you all of this in a minute, but you'll find it on page 78, 79 of your catalog. Okay, so let me show you the suite, then I'm going to show you some projects, then I'm going to sneak peek the cards for my class. Okay, where did I put it? Oh yeah, it's back here. Too much stuff. Okay, so let's start with the fabulous DSP and this one. Now, this is specialty DSP. Now, you're going to look at it and go, why is it specialty? Well, you'll see why in a sec. Okay, so we have just fun, manly. This is like barbecue themed. So there's something for every guy in here. Okay, so my husband's not a barbecuer. I do all the barbecuing. But for guys that like to barbecue, there you go. Here's one for the sharp-dressed man. Here's one for the car guy. So this is the one for my husband. It's even got a buggy on here, a vintage bug, which is his. That's what he grew up in. His parents owned a bug. Okay, we've got a great Argyle. And then we have one for the rustic outdoorsman. So fantastic patterns here. When I flip them over, we get some more neutral, great masculine patterns. Okay, work for so many different things. All right. But then the thing that makes this specialty DSP are these 2 pages of laser cut pieces. So this is what I am focusing on for my class because it makes super quick and easy cards. Okay, pair some DSP cardstock with these die cuts and done. Okay, super easy. So I'm going to show you in a minute, but these are just awesome. Like I've already used a whole sheet. I used a whole sheet to design my class. So let me get this out of the way. Show you the bundle. So here is the coordinating bundle. Now, if you are needing label dies, all that dies are great. So we've got several label shapes. We've got banners. We've got these fun little Argyle die cuts. I'll show you a couple of samples that use those. So this is a great, even if you don't get the stamp set, this is a great die set for labels. Okay, but you're going to want the stamp set because it works so well with the DSP. So again, something for everybody. There's your barbecuer, there's your adventure guy, there's your tool guy, there's your car guy, okay, there's your sharp dress guy. So really lots and lots of possibilities with this one. And then of course we have lots of samples. So I have a couple swap cards, a couple that I did. So here's one that I did. I actually fussy cut out one of the cards from the DSP. Here's a similar one, different look. Okay, stamped and colored the truck a little bit there. Here's a fun one, camping themed. Here's one that uses those awesome Argyle pieces. So that gives you an idea of how they could be used. These are swap cards that I received. And then here's a fun fold, super cute. Okay, gatefold with a cute belly band. So that is another swap that I received. Okay, now let me show you the projects for my stamp camp. Okay, so if you are in need of man cards or some ideas, here you go. Is this all in 1, 2, 3? Yeah, it is. Okay, so here we go. Barbecue, classic cars, sports hero, outdoorsman, camping guy, and tool guy. So something for everybody. So these are the projects for my upcoming He's the Man stamp camp. So you're going to want to check that out. There's a virtual option for those who are not comfortable doing in-person classes or who live too far away. And there is an in-person option on a Saturday morning for those who want to come and hang out in my studio with me. Now, the other element in this suite are these rustic metallic adhesive backed dots. We're going to use those on are we? Yes, we are. We're going to use them on a project that we're going to do right now. So let me grab that. So this card, believe it or not, is 0 stamping. Okay, 0 stamping. Oh, Tracy, this could help you find a guy to make cards for. Find a guy to stamp with. Find a guy who will supply your craft room for you. It's true love. Hey, my guy like totally redid my craft room for me, so he's a keeper for sure. All right, so let's pull out all our pieces and you're gonna see just how quick and easy this card comes together. So I'm starting with a piece of that fabulous DSP, this Argyle pattern. It's 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. Then I have a piece of this sharp dressed DSP. Same DSP pack. This one is what? 1.5 by 4. Okay, so that's going to go on just a little bit below center. So we're going to go ahead and glue that down. Make sure this is straight. It's going to go on right about there. Okay, now there's a little bit of overhang there that I want to get rid of. If I could find my scissors, there they are. They're buried. Oh my goodness, it's a good thing this is not like a wide angle view, you guys. If you could see the disaster area that is this room right now. Holy cow. All right, it's going to be a little cleanup. Cleanup on aisle 3. All right, then we have a piece of Sahara Sand cardstock. It is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, so that's going to layer behind our DSP. Now, before we do that, we're going to add some of this awesome faux suede ribbon. So this, again, was in the catalog last year. Was one that I didn't use a whole lot, and I kind of thought, why is this carrying over? Like, it's not something that you really, that works with a lot of other products that we have. Well, let me tell you, it is perfect with this suite. Stampin' Up! Knows what they're doing when they decide what to carry over. So we are going to add a little bit of this ribbon. It is a really cool, like, faux suede look. It almost looks like a suede belt on this card. So we're going to just add a couple glue dots. Now, we're not going to add a bow because, you know, we want it to be manly. No bows on manly cards. So we're going to do a cute little sort of tail trick. Let's just get this layered first and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oops, that's crooked. There we go. That's better. And we'll glue this onto our card base. We have an Early Espresso cardstock base. It's 4 1/4 by 11. Scored in the middle at 5 1/2. So we're going to fold that in half along our score line. And we're going to pop our card front onto our card base. Oh, you'll get a virtual tour of the craft room. I promise you guys, I'm just waiting on some doors. IKEA has had the doors that I need out of stock, like literally for months. I'm like stalking IKEA, trying to get these last 2 doors. As soon as I have them, you will get a tour. I promise you. All right. Okay. So here we have some fun. Where's my bow tie? These are all some of those laser cut pieces from the specialty DSP. So like, so easy to make this card. No stamping, no die cutting, no nothing. We're just going to slap some dimensionals on this guy. Now this is cut using the dies. It looks kind of like a bottle cap if you ask me. So we're going to layer that on there. Okay, now we're going to do this little trick. We're going to just add some tails. So just see how on here, I didn't tie a bow because I just felt like that wasn't manly enough. So we're going to cut this at an angle. We're going to cut, I don't know, what is that? Like 2 inches, not even. And we're just going to fold it into a V like that. So I'm going to take a glue dot, press it into the middle, fold that over. Okay. And then we can add this to the side of our die cut piece. And it's just a nice little finishing touch that isn't a bow. Okay, so we aren't risking being unmanly. We want manly cards. Okay, so that's going to go on just like that. We're going to pop that up as well. We'll get that on there. And get that centered. Some of the ladies who came to my card buffet last week actually got a little tour of my studio. They were here in person, so they got a little sneaky peek. All right, so I'm going to take my little bow tie, add a couple of mini dimensionals to that, and pop that on. Just like that. And then we have this fun little pointing hand. We're just going to add a big one and a mini. I don't know why, you probably don't need to, but I just like things not to get squished. And there's our hand. Isn't that fun? Now we're going to add a couple of these little guys. I've actually already gone through a whole pack. Yeah, I make a lot of cards. What can I say? So we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to bring in, now we have two sizes, right? There's large and small. What did I do in here? I did a large and two smalls. So let's do the same. So we're going to stick our large one in the middle, and then add a couple of small ones on either side. Just like little buttons or rivets on some jeans or something. Okay, so there we go. Cute, fun, done. There's an extra little scrap of DSP on the inside. And you could make this for any occasion, right? You could do Father's Day, you could make it for birthday, whatever. Okay, there we go. So easy to make cards, guy cards with this suite. It's awesome. All right. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm doing here. It's such a mess. Okay, another awesome masculine set in this, and this is one that I absolutely had to have for my hubster because he is a little bit of a beer connoisseur, is this one, Brewed for You. Like, this is made for my husband. Okay, this bundle. It's on page 83. And it's only $52. So again, a really reasonably priced bundle that includes dies and stamps. It's got every possible beer beverage glass that you could imagine, but then this one also works as a wine glass, right? So there's lots of possibilities for this one. I love the little foam that we can add to the images. Just so much fun. So I'm going to show you the dies up close so you can see what they look like. And then I'm going to show you a couple projects as soon as I find what I did with them. Here they are. When in doubt, look behind you, Lena. Okay, here we go. So here is the bundle. So stamps, these are quite large stamps. Now, somebody asked me, this will not coordinate with the bottle punch. Okay, that's not the same shape, but there is a die, right? So there is a die to cut it out, but it does not work with the bottle punch. Okay, so awesome glasses and then beverages to fill the glasses. We've got our foam. We've got some fun sentiments. I owe you one or several. That's for my husband after doing my craft room. Another round for your birthday. And oh, alias. So much fun. So here are our dies. So again, we have dies that cut out the stamped images, but then these also, we can fill up our glasses with die cuts. Isn't that fun? That one goes in there as well. And then of course, here's the foam for our beverages. And then we have hops and some leaves. Okay, so really, really fun set of dies. Again, for guy cards. Now this set also works really well with the He's the Man set. Okay, so here, this is another one of those laser cut pieces from the DSP. So I stamped the beer mug in the background and then just added the die cut and done. So quick and easy. There's one on the inside where I stamped the beer with the beer in the glass, I should say. Okay, here's another one that's just die cuts. So I actually used vellum to cut the glasses and then layered yellow cardstock to show my beverages. I'll lay these out here for you. Here's a fun one. This one I combined a couple of DSP packs to create this one. This is the Heart and Home. And this one is the sports fan, the sports one, whatever the sports one is in the mini. I can't remember the name of it right now. And then here's one. This will be my husband's birthday card, I think. Just really fun. And I did add, there is Wink Estelle on here, but only on the foam because the foam needs to sparkle just a little bit. Okay. So really quick and easy. Fun projects. Again, great. Oh, and here, I almost forgot. Here's a swap card that I received today. Another slim line where they've used it as a wine glass. So we've got our glass of wine, and I guess we've got bubbles or maybe foam. Well, we wouldn't have foam on wine. Maybe bubbles. Maybe it's sparkling wine. But really, really fun. Lots of possibilities, but great for guy cards. So that is the Brewed for You bundle. Whew, we're almost there, you guys. 2 more to go. Are you still with me? Are you bored? It's a long haul. You have to do it in stages. All right, next up. Okay, now there's a bunch of products I'm going to show you in this one. So the Sun Print Suite is a beautiful suite of products. It's in blues and grays, but there are other coordinating products in other colors. So if you are not really a blue person, then have no fear. I'm going to show you some other possibilities with this one. But such a pretty, sweet, beautiful DSP. I'm going to show you in a minute. Fantastic images. The bundle includes some fabulous dies that both cut out stamped images and other shapes. Okay. But then we also have coordinating DSP called Pretty Prints. So same patterns that we have in this DSP, but in other colors. So I'm going to show you the DSP in just 1 minute. Okay. And then we have also some fabulous specialty paper. This brushstroke specialty paper, it's not actually part of the suite, but honestly it should be because it's fabulous. So I'm going to show you that as well. Okay. So let me get all of that out. I wanted to show you where it was in the catalog first because it's easy to miss some of this stuff. So here we go. Lots to show you here. Let me get all of this stuff out of the way first. So we'll start with all of the gorgeous papers. So let me start with that brushstroke specialty paper. It is so pretty. Okay, you're still here. Oh, good. I'm glad. And you're not bored. Even better. All right, look at this paper. It looks like frosted window. You know, in the winter when it's really cold and you get the frost. It's just beautiful. So it comes in the navy. You get succulent, soft succulent, and blushing bride. It is so, so pretty and shimmery. Love this paper. So it's one you can easily miss because it's not featured in any suite. Okay. Now here is the Sun Prints DSP. So as I mentioned, these are all, one side is all blues. Okay. So beautiful. Look at that. That needs to be framed. Beautiful nature prints. Okay, and we've got, it's navy, it's got a little bit of starry sky, a little bit of Pacific Point in it. Okay, and then when we flip it over, we have gray granite as well. So the navy and the granite are lovely together. There's a stripe, beautiful sky. This one almost looks like concrete. It actually has very faded text. It would work really well with the time-worn type embossing folder. And then, oh, that one's upside down. There we go. So that is the Sun Prints DSP that is part of the suite. However, as I mentioned, we have the Pretty Prints DSP, which same patterns, but in different colors. So we have Evening Evergreen. Okay, now I should mention in this pack, you get 12 sheets, but you only get one of each. Okay, so there's 12 different sheets. It's basically 4 patterns in 3 colors. All right. So there's the Evening Evergreen. When you flip it over, you get these. There's that gorgeous pattern, the wash and the spatter. Okay. Then we have this Calypso Coral. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we have Blackberry Bliss. Oh, I think this may be my favorite. It's just so gorgeous. And then we have Coastal Cabana or Bermuda Bay. It's a little bit of both. Okay, so you've got 4 very different colors in this, but that coordinate with that Sun Prints suite. Okay, so pretty fantastic. To answer your question, Laura, this is lightweight. It's kind of vellum-like, but it's almost the texture of our vellum cardstock. Okay, it cuts a little bit like vellum as well, but it is not translucent. Okay, so also in this suite, as I mentioned, we have our bundle. So beautiful sort of natural wreath die, dies to cut out the stamped images and a fabulous label. And then love the fonts in the sentiments on this one and some beautiful images. And then we have a gorgeous new 3D embossing folder. It's called Fern. You're going to see that in action in just a minute. So, so pretty. Okay, so let's get these out of the way. And I'm going to bring in some samples here for you. So these are all swap cards. So this was by far the most popular bundle for the swap that I participated in. So we've got tons of gorgeous blue and gray ideas here. So these were all made by fellow demonstrators that I was swapping with. Love this one with the vellum wreath. And then here's one that incorporates a little bit of the basic gray and the coral. Okay. And then here's one that I did that uses some of the pretty prints. So this is the Evening Evergreen and some soft succulent. So you can see on here for this background piece here, that's where I use that beautiful brush stroke specialty paper. And then I actually use it as well for my little sprigs on my label. Okay, I'm not sure if the shimmer shows, but it's so, so pretty. Now we're going to make a card using this suite. I'm going to use the Pretty Prints because I wanted to get away from the blues because I had so many samples in the blue. So we are going to make this card. Very unexpected color scheme. This is not a color scheme that I don't think I've ever used this before, but I really, really like it. So here we go. Time to step outside our comfort zone and try something new. So we are starting with a piece of the Pretty Prints Designer Paper. So this is the wash pattern. So I actually embossed it with that Fern 3D embossing folder. And what I love about it is that it actually is distressed a little bit because it's a 3D folder. It impresses quite deeply. And because this is DSP, it's not as heavy weight, right? So it's just a really, you get just a little bit of distressing on the Fern pattern. And I really like the look of that. So that's our background piece. Then I have a little strip of the Coral DSP. So it's the wash on one side and then the natural print on the other. So we're going to go ahead and layer the coral piece onto the embossed panel. So let's get that stuck down here. Right about there. Nope, needs to go up one. Right about there looks good. Okay, now I've already stamped and die cut several of the greenery pieces. So this one's stamped in Coastal Cabana, and then these two are in Bermuda Bay, just for a little bit of contrast. So I'm just going to take a little bit of liquid glue and pop this on. I really like these colors too. Again, I honestly don't think I have ever used this color combo before, but I really, really like it. So I found a new combo. Now, when I did my sample, I covered up too much of the fern. So I'm going to put this up a little bit higher so we see a bit more of it. And then we're going to add our last little guy here. Kind of coming out this way. Just like that. Okay. We're going to add a little bit of our black gingham ribbon. Love this ribbon. It is so versatile. So glad that it is still around. So we're going to go ahead and add a little bit just along that bottom edge of our coral strip here. So we'll grab another glue dot. Oopsie, come here. There we go. All right, now that is going to get layered on a piece of basic black cardstock. Okay, it's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So we're going to layer that. Now, I'm actually going to apply my adhesive to the black layer. I normally wouldn't do this, but because this is embossed DSP, I'm worried about the seal tearing the DSP. So you sometimes have to be a little bit careful when you're using seal so that you don't do damage. Okay. All right. So next I have a die cut circle, again, using those stylish shape dies. Same DSP as here, but this time I'm using the sort of wash pattern on the back. And I'm going to bring in the best spatter stamp of all time. You know me and my spatter stamps. This has an awesome spatter stamp in this set. So I'm going to stamp one spatter down here full strength, and then I'm going to do one up top here, stamped off, just like that. Really quick and easy. Yeah, I feel like the black really makes this color combo work. It really makes it popped for me, Sue. I really like it too. So we are going to add, as soon as I find them, they're buried, some dimensionals to the back of our circle here. And we're going to pop that on just about there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and glue this onto our card base just because we can. So this is Bermuda Bay cardstock. It's 4 1/4 by 11, scored in the middle at 5 1/2. So we'll fold that one in half along our score line. Oh yes, Kelly, that spatter stamp is fabulous. Yeah, I see that stamp and I getting to know each other very well. Believe it or not, I just cracked open this stamp set today. Like, it's sad, I know. There's just not enough hours in my day right now. Silly report cards and day job gets in your way. All right, so here is that beautiful label cut with that label die that comes in the die set. And it fits all of the sentiments in this set. So even though this looks like there's no way it's going to fit, it does. When I first looked at it, I'm like, that's not going to fit in there. Oh, ye little faith. So I'm going to stamp this in black on my label. Look at that. Fits like a glove. And we are going to put this on. So it's going to lie flat on our circle and then pop up on this end. So we're going to put a dimensional on this end. little bit of tape here. And we're going to pop this on right about there, hopefully straight. Okay, and then we're going to tie a cute little bow with our gingham ribbon. So we'll make our bunny ears and tie a knot. Whoopsie, come here you. See, even when you think your bow isn't working, it's there. You just have to pull it out. Really, like I have had some really big messes when I've tied bows, and you just have to tease it. It comes out. Or just stop and start again. Sometimes it's faster than teasing it. And then we're going to grab a glue dot and pop this on right there. Okay, and then a couple of our black matte dots just to tie a little bit more of the black ends. We'll just add a couple of these guys. And we are done. Isn't that cute? Very unexpected color combo for me, but I really like it. I really, really do. All right, so that is the Sun Prints, Pretty Prints, brushstroke specialty paper. So much in that suite. Okay, one more. I saved the best for last. Yes, I did. I did save the best for last. I gotta flip my paper over. I have a list here to make sure I don't forget anything. All right, yes, best for last. So, Hues of Happiness. This bundle suite is everywhere in this catalog. It's on the cover. You open the front cover, it's on the inside of the front cover. It is everywhere, and with good reason, okay? It is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I can't even tell you how much I love this paper. I'm going to show you, and you're going to see why in a minute. So, the Hues of Happiness. Let me just get rid of all of these little guys here. Look at, I forgot to take these off. See, I thought maybe I wasn't done, but I am. This is my last one. Hues of Happiness is found on page 108 and 109. This spread is just beautiful. Like, it's a gorgeous spread, but oh my goodness, this paper is just stunning. I'm going to show you in a sec, but I love this so much. I am doing a class with this. Now, this class is running the, I want to say 18th of May, 19th of May, I think. And registration actually officially closed on the 30th of April, but I have opened it up for today only, because I wanted you guys to be able to see the cards and see this suite in action, and in case you wanted to join the class, okay? It is, it includes the stamp set, okay? And, well, I'll show you the cards in a little bit, but it's such a gorgeous class. So I opened it up for one more day, today only, so if you want to get in on that class, it's a virtual class, so anyone in Canada can join. And it's a good one. So let me just pull in all of the product here. And a whole whack of samples. Okay. Here we go. We're going to start with the bundle this time, just because it's on top and it's easier. So here is the gorgeous stamp set. These images are actually shown at 90% on the cover. They're actually larger than what the cover artwork shows. But beautiful line art images, fabulous to color with your Stampin' Blends. I'll show you some samples in a minute. Beautiful fonts on the sentiments. It's got kind of everything covered. Congratulations, best wishes, happy birthday. All your bases are covered. Fantastic dies. All of these dies not only cut out the stamped images, but also many of the images on the DSP. Okay, so all of these projects that I'm going to show you that have images from the DSP, I did not fussy cut. They are cut using the dies. Okay, this one is a fantastic sort of lattice effect. Again, I'll show you some projects where I've used that. And then these are fun border dies. It's like a notebook, torn notebook, and like a stitch, almost looks like a film strip edge. Okay, so that is the bundle. Set that over there. And brace yourself for some gorgeousness. Okay, here is the DSP. Hi, Karen from Iowa. How are you? Hope you're good. Okay, so look at this paper. This is all hand-painted paper by Stampin' Up's concept artists. They are unbelievable. Here I am. Yes, I am. I've been live since 7 o'clock, Karen, so you'll have to go back and watch this, what you missed. Okay, here again, beautiful florals. Look at this paper. So pretty. Look, look, look. So gorgeous. Okay, so these are the two sheets that you can go crazy with your dies. Okay, so we've got our warm colors and our cool colors. And you can, all of these images on here, with the exception of these little bitty leaves, they fit the die. Okay, so that is the front of the paper. And then wait till you get a load of the back. Look at these washes. They are just fabulous. So awesome. Love this one. Here's like a rainbow. And then another sort of X pattern. So great. Love, love, love this paper. I actually have gone through 2 packs already. Don't judge me. And then we have these gorgeous embellishments. Can't for the life of me remember what they're called right now, but they are part of the suite. Glossy something. But they are fun, fun, fun. So let me show you some samples. So here is one. Again, all of these images are cut from the DSP. The only thing that's stamped on this card is the sentiment. Here's a fun fold. One of the gals on my team actually demonstrated this fun fold at one of our monthly team meetings. So I got to make something instead of demonstrating, so it was really fun. It was a mystery card, so this is what I put together. Here is one. Now this one uses 2 dies. So there's that lattice die. Isn't that beautiful? I love that look. And then here we have the torn notebook. I'll hold that down a little bit. Torn notebook edge. Okay, again, all of the images from the DSP. Here's another one that uses that lattice die. Here's another one. Again, all DSP. Only thing stamped is the sentiment. Here is one that uses another set of dies that I have to pause and show you because, again, they're not part of a suite and they're easy to miss. So these are the Fabulous Frames die. So this awesome frame here is cut with this die. It actually cuts at the center and the frame. Okay, so you kind of get 2 for 1 in that one. You get that lovely embossed detail on the frame. But then we've also got an oval, a large rectangle, a little label, and then photo corners. How long has it been since we've had dies that cut photo corners? I can't even tell you. So again, all from the DSP. And then here you go. Here are some stamped images that I colored. I wanted to get all of my red blends going. So I used Sweet Sorbet, Poppy Parade, Real Red, and Cherry Cobbler on my flowers. Just wanted to play with the different red shades. So that is that one. Okay, and then here, let me get these out of the way. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the projects for my upcoming class, in case anybody wants to get in on it before it closes again tonight. Okay, so there are, 5 projects. So we have this one, a little bit of coloring. And the cool thing about this is you can use any shade of pink, any shade of yellow, and any shade of peach or orange to color because they're all in the DSP. So it doesn't really matter what shades of blends you have. If you don't even have blends, you can use another coloring medium. So lots of possibilities with that one. Here's one where all of the images are stamped on the DSP. So we didn't actually color them. We just stamped and then die cut them out. Here's another one. Again, you can use any color of blends to color your images and your wreath. And then we have a couple of fun folds. So this is a fun one. It kind of, I don't know, it's like a flip-flop. It opens this way, then it opens this way, and like that. So fun fold there. And then finally, we have this one. Love these shades. And this is a W fold. So it's got a little bit of a wow pop out on the inside. So those are the 5 projects in my Hues of Happiness. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, it's my online class. You can check it out. The link is on my website or in my newsletter that went out today. Okay, so if you are interested, you got to register tonight because registration closes at midnight. Okay, so to finish up, we are going to make one more card using this gorgeous suite. So again, this is all DSP. The only thing that's stamped on here is our sentiment. So let me pull out all my pieces and show you how quick and easy. I saved a really easy one for last because I'm tired. All right, so we're going to start with some of that beautiful wash pattern of the DSP. This is 3 by 5 1/4, I think. Yep, 3 by 5 1/4 inches. And that is going to get layered on a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock that is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so we're just going to layer that on there. Aw, thank you, Nicole. You are so kind. All right, so let's get this glued down here. And we are going to glue this onto a piece of basic white cardstock that I've embossed using the Pretty Flowers embossing folder. This is another one that was in last year's annual and has carried over. Now this is one that looks pretty both ways. So this is the embossed version. This is the debossed. I think I'm going to use it debossed because I like that. It looks a little bit lacy. So we're going to add a little bit of glue and stick this down centered across our panel. Right about there looks okay. And then that is going to get glued onto a basic white card base. Okay, so this is 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. Aw, thanks, Karen. I wish you were Canadian too. All right, so let's add a little bit of glue here. We're going to stick this on. Now there is a little bit of overhang here that's bugging me, so we're going to clean that up, because I don't like it when my edges don't line up. So we're just going to tidy that up. There we go. And then we're going to stick this down onto our card front. Now, people ask me all the time why I do tone on tone when I'm using, like why I would add a white layer on a white card base. It's simply because I like the inside of my card to be clean, so I don't want to see the embossing. So I just add the embossed as a layer. I just like the look of that better. All right, so look at these beautiful flowers. They are so pretty, and they coordinate. So I'm kind of like matching them up with the colors in the background. So we're going to kind of have them sort of tumbling across the front of our card. Okay. The only one that I'm going to pop up is this pink one. So all these others are going to get glued flat. So we're just going to add a little liquid glue. So one here. And a little bit here. Happiness abounds. Thank you, Louise. What would I do without you, Louise? And we're going to add this one. It's pretty sad that I can't even remember the name of my own class. If I weren't so tired, I promise I would remember it. I'm just, it's been a long night, long day, you know? All right, I just realized we're going to, see this is cut from the edge of the cardstock. So we're going to hide that. Make sure that our label covers that sort of flat petal there. Didn't realize that I didn't have a full flower. I just have like a bin of a whole bunch of these that I've die cut. I just grabbed a couple. So we're just going to tuck that there and nobody will know. And we won't tell them, right? Okay, so we're going to tuck a couple of little leaves in. Again, these are just die cut using those fabulous dies. So one there. We'll add one back here. And one more. Now we're going to pop this guy up. So it's going to tuck in kind of under here like that. There we go. It's pretty just like that, isn't it? All right, we're going to add our sentiment on our little banner and a little bit of black ink. Now you could use early espresso. Early espresso is actually what the center of the flowers are. It's a dark brown. It's not black, but does not really matter. Black is black. It's pretty neutral. So there we go. Ooh, my black ink pad is super juicy. That's a lot of ink on there. Okay, so we're going to put this on. We're going to hide that flat petal. No one will know. So we're going to add just a dimensional here. A little bit of tape here. There we go. Pop this guy on. And Bob's your uncle. Quick and easy card, right? Now I forgot my opals, but we're going to actually add a couple of these guys because we can. So we're going to use some of the pink, I think. I love that these come in 3 sizes. There's a large, a medium, and a small. It makes placing these really, really easy. So 1 and 2 and 3. And there we go. There you go. Done and done. You like that one? All right, so let's bring back all our projects for tonight. That was a lot of stamping, you guys. Holy cow. We've been busy. All right. There we go. We made it through the catalog. I don't even know what time it is. It's probably midnight. It feels like midnight. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I know it was a long slog. Let me just remind you, for those who joined late or who maybe missed with all the chaos of my audio issues earlier. This is my host code for this week for the catalog launch. If you place your order by Friday using this host code in my online store, you will receive a sampler pack of the new Design a Daydream Designer Series paper. That's a host exclusive Designer Series paper. And you will be entered into my draw for the full set of new in color ink pads. I'm missing one. I don't know where the other one is. It's buried somewhere. Okay, so brand new set of ink pads could be yours. Also tonight, after I'm finished here, once I go upstairs and get a drink, I will post the winner of my giveaway for tonight's video of a pack of the new in color cardstock and the Tea Boutique Designer Series paper. Okay? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic evening. I will post the measurements for all of these cards probably tomorrow because it's getting late, but they will be up, and this replay will be up on my YouTube channel by tomorrow. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next week for another episode of Tuesday Live at 5. Bye for now.